this meeting. All right, so today we are talking about comparison operators. In our class so far, we have learned about several types of operators. We've talked about mathematical, string, and logical operators already. Today we are going to learn yet another set of operators. Comparison operators, as you might expect from their name, are used to compare two values. They will always give you a Boolean value, even if the values that are being compared aren't Booleans themselves. So let's look at our list and let's look at how they work with numbers. So we have 6 different comparison operators. We have equals equals, which is going to check if two values are the same as one another. Notice that there are 2 equal signs here, and that is because one equal sign is what we use to assign a value to a variable. So we need to use 2 to check if 2 values are identical. We use exclamation point equals to check if 2 values are not the same as each other. We can use the greater than and less than symbols, and we can use those in tandem with an equal sign to check if 2 values are, if something is greater than or equal to another value. So 7 is not equal to 5, so my double equals will give me false because they are not the same. 10 is not the same as 3, so my not equals will be true. 8 is greater than 2, so that will evaluate to true. 12 is not greater than or equal to 15, so we get false. 1 is not less than 0, false. 4 is less than or equal to 9. So all of those comparisons we can do in our programs. We are allowed to use the values stored within variables when we do comparisons. We don't only need to use literal values. So for example, I could say age equals int input, how old are you? And then I can make a Boolean variable old enough equaling age greater than or equal to 18. And then I can print you can vote with a string old enough. So let's say the user enters 15. So I type in 15, and I replace that whole value. Age is going to equal 15. I replace age down here with its value. Is 15 greater than or equal to 18?
No.
No.
So old enough will equal false. So when I print you can vote, false, because old enough was not true. So let's say instead the user enters 22. So how old are you? The user entered 22. Age is 22. Is 22 greater than or equal to 18?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So old enough is going to equal true. So when I print you can vote, it will print you can vote true. Does how I can use my comparison operators with numbers make sense? Cool. All right, so if I want to combine comparison and logical operators, I am totally allowed to. We can use and or in between 2 comparisons, and then we can use the results of those comparisons for our logical operation. So let's say I want to determine if someone has a B, if someone got a B on a grade. So I'm going to get an input saying grade equals int input, what is your score from 0 to 100? And then my Boolean got B is going to equal grade greater than or equal to 80. So if the number is 80 or higher, and grade is less than 90. So if it's between 80 and 89, then they got a B. If it is outside of that range, it's outside of that range, they did not get a B. So let's say they entered 92. So what was your score, 0 to 100? They entered 92. All right, so grade equals 92. I can replace grade here with 92. Is 92 greater than or equal to 80?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So 92 greater than or equal to 80 is true. And, all right, we're going to replace grade here. Is 92 less than 90?
No.
It is not. So what do we get when we say true and false?
False.
We get false because both things were not true. So got B is going to equal false. So I will print you got a B, false. They did not get a B. They got an A because a 92 is an A. It should be noted that when I use an and or an or, I need a full comparison on both sides because I need it to evaluate to a Boolean on both sides of my and or my or. I can't check if grade is greater than or equal to 80 and greater than or equal to 70 because I don't have a full comparison on the other side. So just remember, we need a full comparison on both sides of our and or. Does that method for combining logical and comparison operators make sense? All right, so we have talked now about using comparison operators with numbers. Which of our 6 do you think will work with strings, with words? So let's list them out again. Equals equals, not equals, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So do we think equals equals will work with strings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Do we think not equals will work with strings?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Will greater than work with strings?
No.
Maybe.
probably not.
All right, so we're saying no. Do we think less than will work with strings?
No.
No.
And then it makes sense that these would also not work with strings, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, the answer for whether these work with strings is all of them also work with strings.
Because of course they do.
Of course they do. So equals and not equals, those are going to work exactly as you expect. It will check if 2 strings contain the same sequence of characters. If they are the same, equals equals will be true. If they are not the same, not equals will be true. Pretty simple. The other ones, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, are checking if the strings, it's essentially looking at through a dictionary. Is one value later in the dictionary than the other? Is its value greater? Think of like the page number in the dictionary. Is its page number in the dictionary bigger than the other one? So the letter Y comes later in the dictionary than the letter O. So yo is greater than oi. That's true. And this is going to work exactly how it would be if we were sorting alphabetically. So since the first letter of H is the same here, we're going to look at the next letter. And I comes after E. So hello is not greater than or equal to hi. So it's false. Less than, we're going to check if it's earlier in the dictionary. So the letter S comes after the letter H. So sup is not less than hey. H comes before Y. So howdy is less than or equal to yo. Does this process for comparing strings make sense? Okay. So I'm going to introduce you to another tool that will hopefully make this a little clearer as well. That is called the ASCII table. ASCII is short for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. And this is the standard encoding for characters in computers. Pretty much any character that we interact with, pretty much any computer that we interact with is going to know this table and know this encoding. And remember, we said a code is just a series of, it's just information stored as a symbol. So here we're storing character information as a number, or vice versa. So every computer is going to know this series of numbers and characters. So we can use these values pretty reliably. If we look at these two columns, those are where our letters are. So we have capital A through capital Z here, and we have lowercase a through lowercase z here. Notice that the numbers associated with these letters, capital letters have smaller numbers than lowercase letters. So if I were to compare A less than A, that would be true. Uppercase letters are smaller than lowercase letters. So you don't need to memorize these numbers. You don't need to remember that capital A is the number 65, but you do need to remember capital letters are smaller. They come before lowercase letters. If we look at the next column as well, we see all of our digits. So if a string includes a digit at the beginning and you're comparing it to a string that doesn't have a digit in it, digits have smaller values than any letter, upper or lowercase. So that is just another thing to remember when we're comparing strings. Numbers are the smallest, uppercase, and then lowercase letters. Any uppercase letter will be smaller than any lowercase letter. So capital Z is smaller than uppercase A. All right. And if we look over here at this first column, that is filled with special, like, non-keyboard characters. You don't have to know what those do at all. They're special things built into the computer. So, does any questions about what you need to remember from the ASCII table? Cool. And you can also find this online. If you just search ASCII table, you will find this image. So if you need to reference it, it is available. So let's just practice a little bit. Is apple greater than banana? True or false?
True.
Does apple come later in the dictionary than banana?
No.
It's not so. Apple greater than banana will be false. Is apple equal to apple?
No.
No, they are not the same. So that will also be false. Is banana greater than banana?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. So that one is true because lowercase is bigger than uppercase. Is apple not equal to apple?
Yes.
Yes, those are not equal, so we get true. Is apple less than or equal to apple?
False.
false. Well done. So, just some practice on comparing strings. This is pertaining to one of the questions on the AP practice quiz that is on today's assignments. So you could probably figure it out intuitively, but I'm telling you because it's a little confusing. If I use a not with an and or an or, here's what happens. We're kind of going to multiply the not into our operation. So not A and B is going to equal not A or not B. The and is going to get flipped into an or. And if we use not on an or, we're going to still multiply in our not. So we get not A, not B, and now we've flipped the or to an and. And that's just how these work. That is how logical operators work. And this property of logical operators is called De Morgan's laws, and it is named after a 19th century mathematician. So I just thought you should be made aware of this before the quiz today, because otherwise it might be very confusing. And our last topic for today, when we are combining logical and comparison operators together, we're always going to evaluate our comparison operators first and then our logical operators, because our logical operators need Boolean values, which comparison operators create. So if I have x greater than y and z less than m, or x does not equal v, I'm going to figure out what each of these equals individually, and then I'm going to go from left to right like you would expect. So using parentheses on these operators will also change the order of operations. So using parentheses will always take precedence in any time we're doing any kind of operation, whether it's math or logical operation. Does that all make sense? All right. Then I will stop my share. I will stop recording.